There was a morning when I looked in the mirror and realized something strange. I saw my face, I saw my eyes, but I didn't really see myself. I knew what job I had, I knew my schedule. I even knew what other people thought about me. But when I asked myself, "And who are you really?" my mind went blank. Have you ever felt that? That quiet moment when life pauses and you suddenly realize you've been living on autopilot. You've been busy surviving, not actually being. If that's you, stay with me. Because this episode isn't about some spiritual cliche or positive thinking trick. It's about something more honest, the art of knowing yourself. Not reinventing yourself, not pretending to be better, but finally learning to see who you already are, beneath the noise. Let's start from here. We live in a time where we know everything about everyone, but so little about ourselves. You can scroll through someone's entire life online, what they eat, where they travel, who they love. But when it comes to you, the answers aren't always clear, because the truth is self-knowledge isn't automatic. It's not something we're born with. It's something we build. We're shaped by layers, our culture, our parents, our teachers, our fears, our mistakes. Each one leaves a fingerprint on who we think we are. When you're a kid, you believe you can be anything. Then school, society, expectations start trimming your edges. Don't be too loud. Be realistic. Get a real job. And before you know it, you're living someone else's idea of success and wondering why you feel empty even when things look fine. That emptiness, that's not failure. That's your soul knocking, saying, "Hey, remember me?" Self-discovery isn't a formula. It's not a quiz result or a personality type, it's an art. Why? Because it's messy, it's emotional, it's non-linear. One day you feel like you've found your purpose, and the next day you question everything again. That's not regression, that's the process. Think of it like painting. You start with rough strokes. You try colors, you step back. You ruin it, you repaint. And slowly what was chaos becomes meaning. The art of knowing yourself is the same. It's not about having all the answers, but about having the courage to keep asking the right questions. Let's go a bit deeper. Psychologists call this concept self-concept clarity. How clearly you understand who you are and what you value. Research shows that people with strong self-knowledge make better decisions, feel less anxious about the future, build healthier relationships, recover faster from failure. Why? Because when you know yourself, you stop chasing every shiny thing that looks like happiness. You choose what aligns with your values. But here's the tricky part. Most people skip the knowing part and jump straight into fixing. They say, "I just need to be more confident," or "I just need to find motivation." But confidence built on confusion is fragile. Motivation built on imitation burns out. You can't build a strong life on a shaky sense of self. You have to start with awareness. Let me tell you a short story. There was a woman named Aya. From the outside, she had it all, a good job, a stable income, and a smile that fooled everyone. But every night she'd feel this quiet sadness, like something inside her was missing. One day, after another meaningless meeting, she went to the bathroom, looked at herself in the mirror and whispered, "I don't even like who I've become." That moment broke her, but also freed her. She started writing every night. Not pretty words, not affirmations, and just raw honesty. What do I actually enjoy? What am I pretending to like? Who do I become when no one's watching? Months later, she didn't have her whole life figured out, but she started laughing again because she finally met herself. Not the version she performed, but the one she used to abandon. Let's get practical. If you want to begin the art of knowing yourself, you don't need to quit your job or go meditate in the mountains. You start small, you start inside. Here are 5 foundational practices that actually work. The mirror exercise, honest reflection. Each night, look at your reflection for 60 seconds. Ask, what emotion am I carrying today? What part of me did I ignore? You'll be surprised how much truth you can see in silence. 2, the journaling rule. Write, don't edit. Write 1 page a day without judging your words. Don't write to sound smart, write to be real. Raw honesty is the door to clarity. Value mapping. Write down what truly matters to you, not what should matter. Example, if you value freedom but live by security, you'll always feel stuck. Knowing your core values changes how you make every decision. The why ladder. When you want something, ask why 5 times. Each layer brings you closer to the real reason behind your actions. Example, I want more money. Why? To feel safe. Why? Because I'm scared of losing control. Now you're closer to truth. Feedback loop. Ask people you trust. What do you think I'm good at? What do you think drains me? You'll see patterns you never noticed. In today's world, busyness has become identity. We confuse being productive with being alive. We wake up, scroll, work, post, sleep, and call that a day. But productivity without purpose is just distraction in disguise. If you don't know who you are, no amount of success will make you feel fulfilled, because you'll always wonder, am I achieving what I want, or what I've been told to want? Real growth starts when you pause, when you choose stillness over noise, when you dare to ask, what if my worth isn't based on output but on alignment? There's this story about a painter who became an accountant. He told himself, art is just a hobby. I need to be practical. Years went by. He made money, bought a house, but every time he passed by an art store, his chest tightened. One day, his daughter asked, Dad, did you ever dream of something else? He paused, then quietly said, I used to paint. The next day, he bought a small canvas. No audience, no purpose. Just joy. That moment didn't make him rich, but it made him real again. Sometimes knowing yourself isn't about finding something new. It's about returning to what you once loved before the world told you to be someone else. Imagine if you could sit across from yourself for 5 minutes. What would you say? Would you be kind or critical? Would you recognize the person sitting there? Self-awareness starts with conversation. Ask yourself, what am I pretending not to know? What do I keep avoiding? What's one truth I need to say out loud? When you can answer those questions honestly, you start healing. Knowing yourself doesn't mean rejecting everyone else. It means learning how to stay you, even when the world pulls you in 1,000 directions. The goal isn't isolation, it's integration. You can care about others and honor yourself. You can compromise without losing your core, because authenticity isn't loud and it's consistent. You don't have to prove who you are, you just have to live it daily, quietly, truthfully. Let's be honest, sometimes you'll feel lost again. Even after progress, even after clarity, that's okay. You're allowed to change. You're allowed to outgrow people, dreams, and versions of yourself. Don't mistake evolution for confusion. Every version of you was necessary for the next one to exist. Knowing yourself isn't a one-time achievement. It's a lifelong conversation. Let's make it simple and tangible. If you want to practice the art of knowing yourself, here's a weekly routine you can start today. Monday, 10 minutes journaling. What matters most this week? Tuesday, reflection. Walk. No music, just thoughts. Wednesday, ask feedback from one person. Thursday, do one thing that aligns with your values. Friday, write. What drained me versus what fueled me. Saturday, do something that connects you with your younger self. Sunday, gratitude for one personal truth you've discovered. Repeat, adjust, evolve. The art of knowing yourself isn't about becoming perfect. It's about becoming real. You don't have to find yourself like your lost treasure. You just have to remember, you've been here all along. The layers of opinions, fears, expectations, they're just noise. Underneath it all, there's a voice that whispers quietly, this is me. And when you start listening, life begins to align. Not instantly, not magically, but honestly. So if this episode resonated with you, pause. Don't just move to the next video. Ask yourself right now, what's one thing I learned about me today? Write it down. That's where the art begins. If you found this helpful, share it with someone who might need this reminder too. Because sometimes all someone needs to change their life is to hear, you're allowed to know yourself again. Thank you for listening. This is The Art of Knowing Yourself. See you in the next episode.